Hey there, YouTube. What's going on? I'm glad you're able to join me on another episode of Rip Lip Fishing. Anyway, I'm your host, David, and star of the show, well, you met her on episode 1, and there she is, Miss Sadie. Hey girl, you ready to go fishing, Sadie? You ready to go fishing? Let's go. Let's go. You about ready? Let's get it. That right there is a nice one. So welcome to Lake Palestine. Yep, famous crappie lake, Lake Palestine. Go out here. Plan today is go out and do some dock shooting and see what we can collect. Well, I had some lunch, ready to eat around noon or whatever. And so I went into the store. I had to go get some gas. And as I'm getting the boat ready, I opened up the door and this is what I see. Looks like Sadie got a hold of my Carl's Jr. And not only did she eat hers, she ate mine too. So we'll see how long I get to fish out here before I can't stand it and I have to go eat. So things already on not going too well. And look at her, she's out there just looking around trying to find something else. Come on back over here. Don't get into something dangerous. Come on, girl. All right, so I'll show you my setup that I'm using. This is what I like to use for all of my dock shooting. This is a President reel. I'm not sure exactly what the number is. It's 7 ball bearing. It's the small one. And I have 6-pound monofilament test line, high vis. That's really important so I can detect strikes that I can't feel. And I'm going to start out with the marabou. My little, this one of my favorites to throw is the black and yellow marabou. I love it for dock shooting. We'll see if they love it though. They're the ones that are important as to what they think, not me. First fish of the day, folks. Doesn't feel very big, but I'll take anything at this point. What we got there? Got a little bass. Check that out. Got a little bitty bass. Got a pretty good one there. What you think about it, girl? They're under here. You got to get it way under there to get them. Bring it. There you go. There's a lot of them under there though. Now I am not an expert at this technique. I'm pretty new to it actually. I just learned it last fall. And it's as frustrating as it is rewarding. Because half of your shots underneath the dock, when you're not used to it, it's really tough and you miss a whole lot. So what I did was I set up 3 buckets about the size of dock openings or smaller over in my front yard, and I kept practicing and practicing until I could nail those buckets 7 out of 10 shots. And then when I got back to the lake, that made all the difference in the world. And I'm talking, it's just only about like 30 minutes of practice, maybe 40. I'll show y'all how I do this. I leave about that much on my rod. Every rod is different, but this is how I do it. Leave about that much. Grab the line with your finger and hold it. Then flip over your bail. And then you grab your lure by the head with the hook facing away from you. And then you're just going to pull back and try to slingshot it in there. I missed that time. You're going to have a few misses. Actually quite a few until you get used to it. Whenever you're doing this kind of fishing, just make sure you don't touch the docks. Everything's legal about this, but don't shoot nobody's boat, don't touch nobody's dock. and they can't complain. There he is. All right, we're on him. Looks like a school. All but that one is small, but it's just a way to show y'all how I do this. This is a fun way to fish. I highly recommend getting out there and trying to learn this. It's a whole new arsenal to add to your weapons of how to catch crappie. Uh-oh, about to hit the boat dock behind me. In fact, I did. Hope nobody noticed that. These things happen. Okay, I want to show y'all how I knew those fish were there and show you how I do it. And so I'm going to show you my sonar as I go by it and show you what I'm looking for, so I'll know where to stop and where to keep on going. So I'm going to put the camera on the sonar. So here we go. All right. First of all, I'm lined up with the boathouse I'm fixing to go in front of. You can use either your trolling motor or your gas, it doesn't matter. I usually don't go over, I try not to go over about 2 miles an hour to get the best picture. We're gonna use my trolling motor. And so here we go. Now it's real important to make sure your boat is square to the front of the boathouse you're scanning. And that way you get the clearest picture. All right, here's my screen. Going in front of it now. That's nice and clear. And there they are. Okay. Rewind it. Now, all these little dark spots with all these little white spots, and the dark spots are their shadows, but those are all fish clustered up in there, and they got brush piles and stuff thrown up in there too. And there's even some crappie or some kind of fish over here in front of their boathouse. So I know to go and pretty much try all of this area and start shooting. I can count the shadows to see which opening is which and which I want to shoot at. And that's how I do it. You gotta do like, just like that. There he is. Okay, we're on him. Yeah. All right, we're on them. Got them to start biting. They had to see my lure a few times, and a lot of times once one starts, kind of gets the other ones going. But I got to shoot it. I got to shoot my lure way up under there to get them. I'm going to eat my Nutter Butters because Sonar Sady here ate my lunch. So these will tide me over for maybe an hour, and then I guess it's going to have to be time to go. I get a little bit cranky when I get hungry, and I don't think as clearly, and I don't have the patience that you need to have when you're fishing. You just can't be hungry on the water. It's devastation is what it really is. So anyway, let's start eating, and hopefully that'll tide me over. Man, girl, you killing me, girl. What'd you do that for? I'm still upset with you. I come back to that dang Jeep and you ate all my lunch. And I bought you 2 sandwiches and you had to eat mine too. I'm not real happy with you, girl, but I love you. Today's trip is a real good example of how on all fishing trips things don't always go the way that you wanted. It started off bad when I seen that I didn't have any lunch. A lot of times when things just keep on going bad, you just got to get over it. You have to move on, get past it, just stay in a good positive state of mind. But one thing I cannot do is get over hunger. There's just no way. And once I start getting hungry, I cannot concentrate. My mind's not thinking right. I'm not patient. I don't keep on trying different lures. And it's just a big battle. I want to catch a fish, but I'm also real hungry. And it sucks. And I'm still upset with this girl. Where is she? Damn it. Where you at, dog? I'm still upset with this girl. You messed me up, Sadie. That was bad. What am I going to do about her? Man. Anyway, I'm either going to go grab something to eat and come back, or I'm going to the house. Rip lip out. Okay, much happier now. Went up the road, got some chicken, got a chicken dinner with mashed potatoes and corn. Feeling a whole lot better. And I even forgave Sadie. She's my girl. I love that girl. All right, let's get back out there. Now, that right there, the wider gap, that's a boat slip. And then that's a boat slip. And they both got fish gathered more towards the very front of the boat slip. So I know I have to get my lure to there in order to get a bite. The one with the boat in it is the one that had all the fish on. So I'm gonna go over there. We're gonna try there first. One thing you want to look for when you're checking out these boathouses, if they have little ropes hanging down in them, that's usually a brush pile or some kind of fish attractant. So that clues you in right there. That might be a pretty good boathouse to try. If you don't have electronics, you can just go around just looking for those boathouses, and that'll get you going. First cast. Man, that's a good one. That's what you want. Get way under there. Now remember, this took me a lot of practice to get where I could do it. If you come out here and try shooting docks and practicing, or do it for the first time out here on the lake, you'll get frustrated. I guarantee you that. You just got to practice at your house. Nice one. One thing to remember whenever you have a tough day like this, or maybe you had a few in a row, of really tough fishing days. Without the hard and the tough and the bad, there could be no good. How would you feel? How would you be able to feel the sense of accomplishment that you gain without going through the tough times? That's actually what makes this stuff so great. It's the tough times, because when you finally do it and you go ahead and go out there and wear them out, you just feel really good about things, and it's a good feeling of accomplishment. So, get back to the boat ramp that last time and everything, and I was really tired. Kind of went through some weather there and everything. It was cold, it was a tough day, and it was kind of hard to think about what the things were that I learned at the end of the day. But that's always the thing. Every time you have a tough day, you always learn, every single time. And so after drinking coffee and going over it the next morning and everything, I remembered there's probably about 4 things. And first of all was the jig heads, the little flat ones. Bonehead Lures makes them, and I bought some that day. And the little flat ones worked really good for skipping underneath the docks. So that was that was the first thing. Second thing, Sadie ate the lunch, right? So I had to get off the water, had to go find me some lunch. Anyway, go up there and a mile or two away, and there's this place called Chicken and Fish. And I'm like, what in the hell is chicken and fish? Well, I went in there. It was fantastic. That place was immaculate, and the food was great. I ate some good chicken, mashed potatoes, corn. Fantastic. So if you ever see Chicken and Fish, you probably want to stop in. And then third thing was this guy comes in there, he sees, saw me come in, I had the boat and everything. He comes up and he asked me, how was the fishing? And I told him, I was still a little upset with Sadie and everything, told him what happened. He thought that was real funny, and we got along and everything, and I ended up getting some fantastic inside information about the fishing and the lake. And so that alone was worth the whole deal. And I'm so glad. See, that's the whole point of all this. What I'm trying to say is what I thought was the worst thing in the whole world, which was Sadie eating all of my lunch. If she wouldn't have ate all my lunch, I would have never made it over to chicken and fish, and I would have never got that information. So, man, that alone was worth it. I mean, even if I wouldn't have caught a fish, that right there made the whole day worth it. So thank you, Sadie, for eating my lunch. And then, yeah, that's three really good things. And then, of course, after reviewing this film and everything before I put it out, there's a fourth thing pretty important deal, I think. And I need a freaking haircut. Look at that. That's crazy, man. Coronavirus, you suck.